Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you an autumn edit. I asked over in the community section whether you would like to see this, so I'm going to also be doing a spring version which will be coming on Sunday, so I hope that you'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, this is the autumnal version for my friends in the Northern Hemisphere. So I've got 9 items here that I want to talk through, and essentially the whole concept behind this was to just share a little bit of an edit on what I thought were my best picks for the season ahead if you are kind of going towards colder weather. So I'm going to do a bit of a try on haul. I'm going to show you everything, how it fits. I'll do cutaways as well so you can get a better sense of what it looks like on the body. I'll talk through sizing, quality, material, all of that. So the first item I want to talk about is the one that I'm wearing right now, and this is actually something that I had purchased for my wardrobe just for something kind of cozy, easy to lounge around the house in. It's from And Other Stories and it's 100% wool jumper. I really like the fact that they do a lot of natural fiber items, and that's something I tend to look out for when I'm shopping on their website. This sweater in particular I was drawn to because of the kind of oatmeal taupey beige color of it. It's got a really nice cool undertone, which is something that I find really works with my complexion in the colder months because I do have an olive skin tone, so I find warmer colors work for me in the summer but cooler tones work for me better in the winter time. One thing you're going to see is a little bit of a theme of brown, which really seems to be kind of the color of the season, and I really like it. I think it's rich, it's warm, it adds depth to an outfit, and it's a really nice shift away from kind of black and grey and white neutrals, which we know I love, but it's always nice to kind of mix things up and sort of expand your style repertoire a little bit. So I'm going to say this outright, this is not my 100% perfect winter sweater. One thing that really surprised me when this arrived was just how oversized it is. I got it in size small. I will have all my sizing info in the description box as well, so hopefully that'll be helpful. But it is enormous, so if you don't want such a huge fit, then size down for sure. As you can see, it's got sort of a dropped shoulder, but also really, really large armholes as well. So there's quite a lot of width there. And it kind of means that if you bunch the sleeves up like that, it looks a little bit, I don't really love that look. So generally when I'm wearing this, I roll the sleeves up, and I feel like that's a lot more flattering on the arms, and I quite like that kind of chunky cuff detail. Yeah, it's really, really wide through the body, and it is kind of long too. So on me, you can see it's below my hips. It's about a third of the way down my thigh. I have a long torso as well, so I think if you were petite, like 5'2", this would almost be a sweater dress on you. It'll be a really great piece to wear around the house just with leggings. But yeah, otherwise it's just a really nice, easy, cozy jumper, something that you want to be lounging around in, because I know a lot of us are still working from home at the moment. And yeah, it is 100% wool. It actually is pretty comfortable against the skin. Don't find it itchy at all. Very similar texture to the black cardigan that I've got from And Other Stories, which I adore and I've talked about so much on my channel. Alright, let's move on to item number 2. Now this is also from And Other Stories, and this is an alpaca wool cardigan, and I was really actually curious to try some of their alpaca pieces, and I thought that this was a really nice sort of option to go for. I really like sweaters that have that cinched in detail at the wrist and then more of a blouson style sleeve. I just think it is a really flattering look. I think it's also just a nice, fun, exaggerated detail, especially when you push the sleeves up and you kind of get a little bit more volume around the arms, but not in a excessive way like with the previous sweater that I showed you. I also really liked the tortoiseshell buttons on this sweater as well, or this cardigan. That was one of the things that I was drawn to, and this is a really nice kind of oaty grey mild color. Now I will say, as far as alpaca sweaters go, this is nothing on the Everlane alpaca knits, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in this video. This has a little bit more of a synthetic feel to it, which I think is probably down to the fact that it does have some polyamide in there. It's not 100% natural fibers, so you are going to get that, and it is a little bit fluffy as well, so something to keep in mind. You will probably have a little bit of shedding, not loads, not as bad as some other sweaters that I've tried, but yeah, I do like the kind of ribbed detail as well, and it is the kind of sweater that's not too stiff, so you can actually tuck it into jeans or into trousers if you wanted to wear it more like a top. So you do have a little bit of versatility there with how you can wear it. So you don't just have to wear it open, you can also wear it buttoned and then tucked. It looks really cute, and I will show you in the cutaways how that looks with these skinny jeans. When I was placing my order and other stories, I just knew I had to try out this blazer. I've been wanting to add it to my wardrobe for years, but it is a little bit more of an expensive price point. I think it hits around the 300 Australian dollar mark, so I didn't really just want to jump on it unless I was 100% sure, and I thought this was a good opportunity for me to trial it out and see what I actually thought. Now, I sized down a full size because I had read a whole lot of reviews and everyone sort of suggested that that was the best thing to do if you wanted an oversized fit that wasn't too big. And I'm so glad I did. You can see actually here that the shoulder seam still sits over the edge of my shoulder, so still has that kind of boxy oversized look without looking like I've kind of gone into my granddad's wardrobe and stolen one of his jackets and it's sort of drowning me and sort of I'm being swallowed up by the jacket, if you know what I mean. The quality of this is just exceptional, and I can understand now why there is so much hype around this jacket and why and other stories have re-released it sort of year after year. I really like the fact that it's a core piece, and to me I feel like when you notice that a brand is re-releasing the same item year after year, you can tell that that is a good staple item to kind of maybe look at investing in. It's a really beautiful quality felted wool, and then it's also lined as well. So I would say that this is about as heavy as some of my winter coats, or maybe even heavier than some of my winter coats. So if you live in a really cold climate, this is probably a good option for you to wear over the top of a piece of knitwear underneath your actual coat as well as an additional layer. So a really good one for that, and also a great transitional item to see through to the winter months. I really was drawn to the color of this, and I do feel like in person it maybe pulls a little bit different to how it appears on the screen on the website, at least on my computer anyway. It's kind of a mousy taupey brown, very muted and a little bit more cool toned, but yeah, just a really beautiful blazer, and again I love the contrasting tortoiseshell buttons. Last and other stories item before I move on to the next brand is a pair of boots, and again I really wanted to kind of see what their leather items were like, and I've been eyeing up their sock boots for the past few years again, and because I can actually now shop from the site, I figured it was a good opportunity to give them a go. I really liked the heel on these, so it's kind of a little bit angular. I don't know if you can get the sense here, but it's a bit wider at the base than it is to where it reaches or touches the heel of your foot. This is a sock boot, so it's got quite a nice snug fit. It's got a black zipper closure, which has a really nice smooth tug to it, which is really good. And then it has the seam detail down the front. And I just think that these are absolutely beautiful. They are really comfortable, and being made from a sort of a soft, malleable, sort of stretchy leather means that they are great if you do have wider feet like I do, or you've got a bunion or any sort of foot maladies like that that kind of do give you a little bit of grief. They are more of a pointed toe though, so if you do find that that is something that doesn't work for you, then these may not be the ones, but a really beautiful boot. And I love the way that they kind of they are a little bit longer, so they come up your leg, and they are great for wearing with straight leg jeans, straight leg trousers, and that's sort of something that I feel like has kind of been missing from my wardrobe, something that comes quite high up the leg but also has a really nice chunky block heel that is easy to walk in. So yeah, and I went for my usual size in these. I got them in the European 40, and they are a perfect fit. More knitwear, just because I feel like autumn is the season for knitwear. This one is from Everlane, and this is actually the only item that was gifted to me out of all of these pieces that I'm sharing with you, but I did get a lot of requests to feature some Everlane items in this video, so I thought this would be a good one to mention because it's one of their alpaca knit cardigans. This is called the Cropped Cardigan. I'm gonna say, I don't really think it's actually cropped. You can kind of see it hits me just above where my widest point is. So from that perspective, I wouldn't call it cropped. I'd maybe say it was cropped if it cut up here. I think it's a regular length cardigan. But yeah, it's made from their alpaca wool, and I really love their alpaca line. You'll probably have seen if you watch my winter most worn that the just regular crewneck alpaca sweater was one of my most worn items, and it's one of my favorite pieces in my winter wardrobe. I just love the almond color, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I was really excited when I saw that they were launching some new colors in the range, so this was probably one of my top picks. It is kind of like a heathered black, so it's a really deep dark charcoal almost black with a white little thread running through it, which I think is really pretty. I don't find this quite as non-irritating or non-itchy as my almond sweater, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable on my skin at all. It's really nice and cozy, very soft. It's got a lot of stretch and movement to it, and this can be worn both open like I've got it right now, or in the cutaways you'll see I have actually worn it buttoned up like I'm doing now, and I wore it as a top, and I think that's really cute too. And you can sort of, because it is quite a thin, lightweight fabric, it's very easy to tuck in. And you can also, this is kind of how I wore it, I rolled the collar so I could wear it open almost like a top. And I really enjoy the way that that sort of looks. I think it's really pretty and almost has a bit of a Henley feel to it. So yeah, that is kind of one of my top picks from Everlane. And if you're looking at anything else from the brand, I would recommend the oversized wool blazer, which I had in the US too, size down, because it is quite a big fit. It's a lot more lightweight than, say, this one here from And Other Stories. So if you live in a warmer climate, probably the one that I would recommend going for out of the two. I would also recommend their Wool coat. That is probably one of my favorite items from the brand. It is heavyweight, really warm, beautifully made, and just a classic style that will never date. Next up we have the Ornela sweater from Sezane, and this was one of the items that I talked about over on my blog that was kind of in my cart that I was thinking about buying, and I wanted to go for it because I've tried the Sezane 100% merino wool pieces before, and they are just beautiful quality. They're really nice, soft, silky merino. It's very nice and smooth, feels beautiful against the skin, and I loved all the details on this. So you can kind of see, again, it's got this extended cuff detail here with the little, I want to say mottled brown buttons up the side, which are really beautiful and dainty and have a bit of a vintage feel to them. And you might be able to see actually in the cutaways that there's a bit of a pointelle stitch actually around the cuff, as well as scalloped edging on all of the hems, collar down here, and also again around the cuffs. Very pretty. And then it has this really lovely little dainty cable knit and pointelle stitch throughout the knit, which I think is just really beautiful, lovely. This would make a really good workwear piece, so something you could wear to the office, but then also very easily something that you could wear at home on the weekend if you just wanted to elevate your outfit a little bit, because I think this kind of is a bit of a statement maker while also being a classic, kind of does all the talking for you. I often get asked about where to buy good faux leather trousers from, and when I spotted this pair from Mango, I just thought that they were too good not to share with you. What really drew them to me was the silhouette. They reminded me a lot of the Stella McCartney vegan leather trousers, and I just thought these were a great dupe. These are a little bit different because they do have a mock croc imprint on the faux leather, which I'll show you a close-up because I think it's a really cool detail. I think the cut of them is really nice. On me, they actually cut just above the ankle, so they would be cropped if you have a longer inseam than I do. I liked how nice and comfortable they are. The faux leather itself is very kind of soft and feels really lovely on the body. The fit is true to size. I'm wearing them in a 36 or a AU8. And yeah, I think these are actually a great dupe for the Everlane leather trousers that I've got as well, which a lot of you loved when I shared those, but unfortunately they don't have any plans to remake them because the price was incredible actually for the quality. But yeah, really good little trouser option, and I think these would look amazing just with all of the knit sweaters that I've shared, even with this And Other Stories blazer. Next up we have this absolutely beautiful knitted maxi dress from Marc, which is one of my favorite New Zealand brands. It's a silk wool cashmere mix, and it is honestly just divine. It feels so nice against my skin. It has this beautiful rib detail. I just love how simplistic it is, but it's just really well done. As you can see, it kind of hugs the body very nicely, and I'm not sure whether it's going to show on the cutaways, but it does have a slightly different direction to the rib at the back. There's almost a section where the skirt sort of flares out slightly, and yeah, I just think it's a really beautiful, simple detail. Just a really nice knitted dress. You know, it's no frills, no fuss, but it's well made, beautiful quality, and the kind of thing that you'll be able to wear for years and years. And when it comes to adding anything to my wardrobe, that's kind of the mentality, or at least the thinking behind a lot of my purchases. And then the final item that I wanted to share with you is this 100% wool sweater from Arket, and it's this really beautiful toffee camel color. I love the shape of it as well, being more of a kind of boxy fit, and it has these little slits on the side here. I'd been wanting to try Arket's wool pieces for a while. This is 100% wool. It isn't as soft as other wool sweaters. So for example, the End of the Story sweater that I talked about at the start of the video, much softer. This one, if you're quite sensitive, you'll probably find it irritating on your skin. So I do want to flag that. It's got more of a raw feel to it, but it's still beautiful. It's very good quality, really nice and weighty and thick. Like this is going to keep you nice and toasty and warm. And yeah, it looks great kind of tucked in. I love the crew neck. It's got a really nice, very thick detail, rib detail here at the collar, and the price point is just unreal. It is so affordable. I'm really quite surprised by the price point. So yeah, Arket is definitely becoming one of those brands that is one of my favorite go-tos for just really good quality staples that are well cut and well made. So there you have it. That is a look at the autumn edit that I've sort of picked out from all of the different retailers that I'd probably be going to if I was living in the Northern Hemisphere right now. Obviously, I'm not going to keep all of these items. However, what I am thinking I'm going to do is not this Sunday, but next, I'll film a video where I show you how I style all the items that I kept. I would love to know actually what pieces are your favorites and what ones you would keep if you were me, if you could just pick 1 or 2 items. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, especially if you're living in the Northern Hemisphere and it's starting to get cold and you're sort of on the hunt for some good quality items to add to your wardrobe. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you are new here and you want to subscribe and see more videos like this from me, then I would love to have you come back, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. See you soon. Bye.